Now broadcasting the Dr. Nilda Business Foresight Show, positioning your business with strategies for an extraordinary future. Dr. Nilda features expert guests from diverse backgrounds to bring you their stories and strategies that have helped them reach their success. The diversity in industries gives you that panoramic view from an array of industries. They are innovators, thought leaders, trendsetters, and strategists. Here, Dr. Nilda reveals strategies that will position you to be on the cutting edge and be able to do what you love with the people you like, making the profits you want to live the lifestyle that you have dreamed of. And now, here's your host, Dr. Nilda Perez.
Hello, and welcome back to the Dr. Nilda Business Foresight Show. Today I have with me my co-host, Rachel Calderon.
Hello, everyone. How are you?
Okay, so today we're going to talk about a shift that we're making in the show. And I know we've been talking a lot about innovation, and a lot of the people that we've brought on are doing really remarkable things, very innovative, very creative. However, now we're going to be bringing you a host of futurists. So you know that I'm always talking about foresight strategies. You know that I'm always talking about the future. Well, what we're doing now in the show is that we have been so blessed to speak to a very large group. And right now, I think we have, Rachel, would it be like maybe 14 futurists?
Probably about 14 or maybe a little bit more than that at this point, because they're kind of coming in quickly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the beauty is that these futurists are coming from all different backgrounds. And so the idea of this is so that to help you understand, not only understand foresight, not understand futuring, but also understand how this plays an impact in your particular industry. So they're coming from education, they're coming from all different fields.
Different disciplines, as you've stated in the past.
Right. Different disciplines. They're coming from an array of disciplines. And the beauty of this is that there has to be one of these disciplines, one of these industries, one of these careers that you're either involved in or are looking to get involved in. So you're going to get like a plethora of information, and you're just going to really enjoy it because these are really down to earth, but very, very intelligent people. So Rachel, can you tell us some of the people that we're looking to? Because Rachel's been talking to the people directly. So tell me, where are they coming from?
Well, we have people from coming in from the Middle East. We also have people that are from Paris, UK, Australia. Oh my gosh. And then we have people, of course, around, the United States, which is California, Texas. They're all over. So we are excited. We'll be giving you some names a little later on. But Nilda, continue. We're excited.
We're excited. This is really, really exciting because here's the idea. And the intention of the program from the very beginning was to bring you information so that you can learn things and discover for yourself. What is your position? How can you be more creative? How can you be more innovative? How can you actually position your business? And that at the end of the day is the idea, your business, your career. Last year I was really blessed to be able to speak in so many different arenas. And one of the most, for me, the most exciting was when I spoke at a STEM conference. And that STEM conference, I'm speaking to people that are doing innovative things in the areas of science, technology, engineering, and math. And I was thrilled to be able to couple that with futuring.
Exactly. And the thing is that both STEM and futuring really should be put together. And often not, and oftentimes they don't. And we're finding that why not? Because this is just, again, it's just amazing. It's amazing. We have a tremendous lineup this year. Things are just happening quicker than fast for us. We're just off. We're just kind of just going with this wave that we've got coming up.
Super, super exciting. And we're really looking forward to this. So what I want to do today is I want to talk to you a little bit about there are certain things that you're going to be hearing from the futurists. And what I want to do in this show is to be able to give you the heads up so that when they're talking about it, you'll know what they're saying. And it wouldn't be language that's foreign to you. It's not that it's complicated, but it's probably stuff that you've never heard before. So this is where I want to start. The reality is that there's nothing like being in the right place at the right time. But this is a mere, luck of the draw. And in these uncertain times, that's a huge chance to take. Waiting for that chance of being in the right place at the right time is way too risky, especially today when things are changing so quickly. So despite these uncertainties, I know that you can actually ensure that you design your desired future. That is that's something that you can actually do. But this is not a wish or a hope. You have to have well-informed strategies to be able to develop that desired future. You do this by acknowledging your past, being very well aware of your present, and making sound decisions for the future. When you do these things, you kind of braid them together, and it really is almost impossible to fail. You're going to hear from many of our guests a lot of things about trends. And I know I've been talking to you about trends, but there's going to be a catchphrase that they use a lot, and that's trend spotting. Trend spotting is about observing patterns, tendencies, and the direction of the direction that an industry, the direction and the change that an industry is taking. And we know that today, it doesn't really matter what industry, there's so many changes happening no matter what industry you're in. So it's about spotting those trends in the industry, and consumers. You want to also spot consumer trends. How are consumers purchasing now that they weren't before? You see, when you start spotting these things and you start spotting these trends, you're also spotting opportunities for your business. Trend spotting is a multi-method research. And it's something that when you start looking at this, you start customizing them to your client's needs, and you start focusing on the industry and in the area that the client desires to understand, and that where they want to be able to come more to you, where they want to be able to purchase from you.
The idea here is to reveal what is fresh, new, and cutting edge in that selected area or industry. It is applying the trends and the insights to your own business to make it grow, stand out, and become that go-to person. So by understanding the shifts in the wider context and the environment, it is the interrelations with consumer behavior, and ultimately it's understanding how consumers feel about these.
The thing is, Rachel, that smart companies, they're spending a lot of money on research and development, and you know this as a marketer. So they're spending a lot of time to ensure that their offerings are up to date, but they're not sure if these are really lucrative. They're just spending the time and they're spending the money on research and design, but they don't really understand what does the customer really want? What are the changing shifts? And when are they going to abandon ship and go on to the next thing? See, traditionally, the practice has always been that, the work is quantitative, which means, there's quantitative and qualitative. So they look at the research based on numbers or based on social, right? So this is how most research is done. But the reality is that this is not really working anymore. And of course, forecasting and analyzing looks at these trends and looks at new trends of how people are doing things now. So everything is really not a mathematical, when it breaks down, it's not all mathematical. We have to look at the social end of it. So there are only a handful of companies that are actually looking at forecasting or looking at the future, and those are very few companies.
So let me give you an example. Automobile manufacturers. You see, when we get a car, it's already outdated for them because they're futures. They've already looked at the makes, the models. They're like decades ahead of us. I mean, seriously, who would have thought that when we get what's called a brand new car, fresh off the lot, 2018, right? It's already ancient for them because they're working on several years away.
Exactly. Another industry that does this really well is the fashion designers. They're forecasting and predicting what they're going to wear 5, 10, 6 seasons out. So when we get the fashion that we think is the latest and the greatest, they're way ahead of that. And they have to be, because the idea in both the automobile and the fashion is that there has to be change all the time. So they've embraced forecasting. They've embraced futuring. They've embraced this in a way where they understand that to be current, they have to be ahead. So they know this. So the idea is that we have to learn how to do this in our industries, no matter what it is. So we want to know what is new in the emergence and the widespread adoption of trend spotting. We want to know what is inside of our organizations that can change, what's out of our organizations, the environment. And I've talked a lot about STEEP: social, technological, environmental, economic, political. Those are all areas that affect our businesses. So we want to know what are these things that are going to affect us, because companies such as Walmart and Campbell's and Campbell Soup and Legos, Marks and Spencer,
Virgin Mobile.
Yeah, they're using trend forecasting as part of their innovation process. So by doing this, they're so many years ahead, they're leap years ahead, and they're innovative, and they're coming out with things that are actually cutting edge. And that's the beauty of forecasting. That's the beauty of trend spotting.
And the key here is to anticipate new opportunities, but it is also essential to avoid potential threats, which is what most of us don't really focus on. We focus on, everything all the opportunities, but what are threats? What could really almost knock us off our feet in our businesses, basically?
Exactly.
So here is why trend spotting is actually really important. It's a multi-method research customized to our clients' needs and is focused in in the industry and areas that the client desires to understand the latest customer trends.
Exactly. That's it. So the outcome is to reveal what's fresh, what's new in the selected area that you're researching. And it also gives leads on how to apply trends and insights in your own business. So it becomes, these people that are doing this are actually disrupting the norm. And they're actually cutting right through, the norm, what everybody else is doing. So this is how Amazon, you have to understand, 8 years ago, Amazon was nothing. And I know I've said this before, but you don't realize the ability that you have, the blessing that you have to be able, once you have this, once you understand about forecasting, once you understand the importance of it, you can actually look out 15, 25, 30 years and be in that same area that the automobile industry is in, that fashion is in, that companies like Amazon is in. There's a constant evolution of change. It is not like this huge change for no purpose, like, we need to be different, so we have to change. But they're change that is actually being researched, and they know exactly what they're doing. So that's what trend spotting is.
And that's why it's important to be a trend spotter, a trend spotter, because you are searching for new ways that is ensuring that you don't become the victim of that change.
Exactly. I love it. Yeah. So trend spotting is going to be something that you're going to hear over and again from many of the futurists. Another phrase that you're going to hear quite often is going to be scenario planning. Sometimes you're going to hear it called scenarios. Sometimes you're going to hear it as contingency planning. But the reality is what it means is scenario planning. So I wanted to define that for you. So scenario planning or contingency planning or scenarios is a structured way for organizations to think about the future. they're looking at the future in a very structured way. They're taking those trends that we talked about, the trend spotting, they find the trends, and then they start designing scenarios. In scenario planning, what you do is that you gather your staff and you begin to develop a small number of scenarios. The recommendation is typically 4. So you come up with 4 scenarios or 4 stories on how the future might unfold based on the information that you have. And this is how you might affect the issue that confronts them. Like, how would you confront them if you know that this is a probability, a possibility, but you're doing this with information that you already have? So it's typically 4 scenarios. From the 4 scenarios, what you do is that you start breaking it down and you're like, you know what, this is this is not so probable. So you're going to set that aside. And then at the end, you come up with, you decide on 2 scenarios. And then from those 2 scenarios, you can either use them both, or you can pull from each and you can start creating that desired future. So these are some of the phrases that you're going to be hearing from some of our amazing guests. So I want to go back to Rachel. Rachel, I want you to tell the audience, who are some of these guests? What is their background? What do they do?
So yes, I am excited as much as Dr. Nilda is. We have some of these futurists that we have lined up here are members of the Association of Professional Futurists. And if you guys do not know what that is, please Google that because it is amazing. The people that are lined up are just amazing. One we have is Jim Lee. What is amazing about Jim Lee is that he is a forecaster of investments and real estate. And anyone who's in real estate, this is a must-watch show because we have been talking to him and he has an interesting, it's interesting how real estate has been shifting. Who would have thought real estate shifting? But yes, it is shifting and it is amazing where it's kind of going. We also have Joyce Joya, who is a celebrity futurist. We have Ann Boyson, who's going to be talking about transportation, the future of transportation. Okay, so you see, we don't have people just in one industry. We have people from an array. We have Dr. Hamad, who is a scenario planner. We also have Alethea from Mexico. Oh my gosh. Is she a Dr. Alethea or no? Is she a doctor?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure,
but I know she is a futurist. And again, she actually does scenario planning through theater. I was blown away because knowing my daughter, she loves the theaters, it is incredible how this woman has put theater and futuring and married the two. It is incredible. We also have Natalie Nixon, who is a fashion futurist. Again, we have an array of people from all sorts of disciplines, and I am excited.
Yes.
So that is just to name a few. We can't.
That's just to name a few. There were so many. We have 14 confirmed, but of course we have to confirm dates. So yes, until we're not there, it's difficult to again, the beauty is, Rachel, how excited are they? How excited are the futurists to be?
Well, they're excited because number one, this is going to be the first time that we have a platform where they can actually express to our audience,
general public,
through the general public about futuring and how important it is. You guys have to understand that this is okay. Let me just give you a quick example. When we purchase insurance, that we're planning our future. So this goes even deeper. Imagine that. Think about it. So right. I'm like just as excited as they are, as Dr. Nilda is. And me being the producer of the show, this has just been too much fun for me to put this all together and just to see how we're all just so excited. And just to let you know that if you want to find out more information, you guys should be getting on, signing up under drnilda.com/newsletter, because we're not only going to be giving you every single month, the first of the month, without fail, We have a team working on this, and this is another exciting thing for 2018 for us, is we're going to have our newsletter going out every single week. We're going to have case studies.
Month.
Oh, sorry, every single month. I apologize.
Please.
Every single month. And we're going to have case studies. We have some case studies. We have some article writers who are going to be on there. We also are going to be featuring our guests of the month, plus those in the past. So this is going to be amazing, guys. You have to sign up. Again, that is Dr. Nilda Perez. That is DrNildaPerez.com/newsletter. Go right now as we're on the show. Please sign up for that. Please. It is important.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. So guys, this is what this new year, we've been working on this for a few months, and we've had amazing response from from the futurists, from many futurists. And we're looking to have, again, if you're not in the futuring world, I don't think you will understand the caliber of people that we have. But once you listen in, and once you listen in to the areas, especially the areas that are important to you, you are going to be blown away when you hear how they've been able to forecast the future, the benefits of forecasting the future, and the things that they're doing as a result of the information. And at the end of the day, that's what it's about. So again, I'm excited. I cannot wait. 2018 is going to be an amazing year. We've already booked people, I think, through the end of April, and they keep coming. They keep coming. So I look forward to, to having you listen in on the show, and to, I want you to really get something out of this, because these are really phenomenal people that are going to pretty much change your life. Okay. So thank you so much for being here. We will talk to you again next week. Next week, we will come with our guest. Our guest next week will be Jim Lee. And, it'll be Jim Lee. And so until then, I will see you guys, and I look forward to more of a dialogue, and to have you guys participate more in the show. Okay, bye.
Don't forget, DrNildaPerez.com/newsletter. Get on board, sign up real quick, because we want you guys to have all that information.
By the way, it's a matter of time where we're going to start charging for that newsletter. But if you get on now and you start getting that newsletter now, when we start charging, we're going to grandfather the people in. So if you want this newsletter, I would say do it ASAP. We're not sure when we're going to make that change, but we're making that change this year. Okay.
All righty.
Okay, guys. Bye.
See you guys. See you next week.
Thanks for listening to the Dr. Nilda Business Foresight Show. You can hear Dr. Nilda every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and anytime on demand on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and SoundCloud. For more information on the featured guest, go to www.drnildaperez.com/show.